Hello everyone. It's now been over a week since the pulse and the shotgun nerf came out. I have tried new pulse and I've tried the new shotguns. So what are my final thoughts on the nerf? I personally think that Ubisoft made a huge mistake here. Hear me out why. I was right with most of my predictions. In the last video I said this. While it is really close, the win rate is 50-50 and 51-49 on console, with the attackers in the lead. On PC, however, where it is easier to get headshots with assault rifles, it is the other way around. Wouldn't nerfing shotguns just nerf the defending side? Especially on console where the attackers are already in the lead? I do think so. And while I don't know what other changes are coming up, I feel like this nerf is unjustified. And now guess what happened? These are the stats of the past week. There's now an 8% difference between attackers and defenders in terms of win rate. In a game that is made for competitive play in esports, an 8% win rate difference is absolutely insane. And I think everyone can agree that that is not how it's supposed to be. And as I said earlier, on PC it's not as bad. But still defenders' win rate got lowered by 2%. When I made the last video we never had official patch notes, so I just assumed there would be more changes to come. But no, it was only pulse and shotgun nerfs. And there was no compensation for the nerfs on the defending side. So of course the defenders' win rate was bound to go down. That was the biggest mistake Ubisoft made with this patch. So now these are facts and you can't really argue with those. So let's get to my personal opinion as to how the patch worked out in-game. For a lot of people the biggest gripe was that pulse was basically picked every single round now. Usually I would say, hey, that's a good point. There shouldn't be operators that need to be picked every single round. But I see nobody complaining about Ash, Thermite, Valkyrie, Rook, Jäger. Nobody complains that Jäger needs a nerf, yet he's picked 90% of the time. Nobody ever wanted to nerf Rook. But honestly, an operator that has 100% pick rate needs to be nerfed. Because it's not good for the health of the game if nobody picks Tachanka or Montagne. But who the hell would pick Tachanka if you can take a Rook? Because Rook is better in almost every aspect. But most people seem to be absolutely okay with it and I don't understand it honestly. I was never against nerfing Pulse a little bit. I think Pulse was at the perfect spot before he got buffed. Maybe the quick swap was a little bit too strong, but as I said earlier, nobody complained because he wasn't picked as much. I would have just really liked to have the old scanner back, but whatever, we didn't get it. Instead, he got 3 nerfs at the same time. Quick swap got removed, his shotgun got a gigantic nerf, and the heartbeat sensor range got reduced. Pulse is now so much weaker compared to before they buffed him. I do not understand the logic behind this. Maybe it's just because the nerf is out for a week now, but I see so many players running around not using their sensor at all anymore. But maybe that's just me. It took me quite a while to get adjusted to the changes. As a seasoned Pulse player, I still know how to get cheesy kills with him and how to outplay your enemies. I think the removal of quick swap was necessary. If you learn how to play around the animation, it is still pretty easy to pre-fire enemies. That is the change that affects me the least personally. What hit me a lot more is that the range of his scanner got reduced by over a third. Basic math reveals that the area he can now scan around himself was almost half. When playing it feels more like his range is about 5 meters as opposed to 9. I will definitely need more time to get used to that. It feels like I can barely provide information for my team anymore, and I get flanked unexpectedly way more than before. I personally think a nerf to 10 or 11 meters would have been more than enough, but the thing that bugs me the most is the nerf of the shotguns. They went way over the top with that. Again, I would have been okay with a slight nerf of the range, but not decreasing power by about 40%. That was a bit too much. I've had situations where I shot people at like 7-8 meters range and they would take up to 6 or 7 shots. The spread is unrealistically high. I find myself disengaging a lot more and I don't think having the damage so low even on close range is a good thing. So here's my conclusion about everything that happened the last week. In general, the changes to Pulse were a step into the right direction, but it was 2 or 3 steps too much. The shotgun nerf was definitely wrong. I still stand my point there. They should have only touched them a little bit. The numbers speak the truth here. And I really hope they do something to fix the win rate in the next patch. So what do you think about all of this? Are you happy with how it went down? Do you agree or do you disagree with me? Post in the comments. Until next time, see ya. Oh, and by the way, it is already confirmed that they are reworking nitro cells. Again, this is an outcry by players that are just too careless to play around them. A lot of players seem to want to remove nitro cells from the game altogether. Again, only the defenders have nitro cells, so let's make this game more unbalanced. But that is a topic for another video.